The Southland Harness Racing Show is proudly brought to you by the good folk at Regent Carcourt.
Welcome to the Southland Harness Racing Show. This week in our Regent Carcourt Harness profile, we bring you the success story of Franco Ledger, Hamish Hunter and the Whatever Syndicate.
Products Country Cups final, Franco Ledger is the favourite. He is the back marker on 30. Poacher all alone up front. He's about to turn in. Cracker Black on 10 to the tape. They're off, field away. Franco Ledger just scrambled away for a couple of steps, and Glencoe VC did the same, and Franco Ledger's already gone past him. Scary McCleary has galloped away in a bit of a mad hop as well, and he's going to settle amongst the last three. Meanwhile, up front, Don't Have Time as usual, smartly into stride, running in the trail in behind it, Life's Decision, 2 lengths away, Poacher, 2 to Cracker Black at the 2,400, 2.5 lengths away then is Flying Courage, about 7 or 8 lengths away then Franco Ledger, about 5 behind that is Glencoe VC, and 2 lengths away is Scary McCleary. They wheel into the lane first time, 2,200 left to run. The leader is Don't Have Time, 2 lengths to the good of Life's Decision. Poacher runs third, field single file, 2 lengths away, Poacher being followed by Cracker Black. Behind Cracker Black is Flying Courage, about 3 lengths away, Franco Ledger. About to latch onto his back is Glencoe VC, and 3 lengths to Scary McCleary. Out inside the 2,000 metres they run. Don't Have Time in front. Now Cracker Black's moved to the outside and ranges up on the outside of Life's Decision. Running in 4th place, Poacher. 2 lengths away at the 1,800 metres then is Flying Courage. 2 back behind it, Franco Ledger. A little more than 2 away is Glencoe VC, in the same gap to Scary McCleary. They run down the back to the 1,600. Cracker Black round to the front. Handing up and taking cover is Don't Have Time. They've got 1,600 left to run. Third, Life's Decision. Poacher 4th. A length and a half behind that, Flying Courage. In behind Flying Courage is Franco Ledger, Glencoe VC and Scary McCleary, the tail ender. There's still one behind the other at the 1,400 metres, Cracker Black. Don't Have Time trails, running third, Life's Decision. A little bit of a peep over the shoulder from Blair, and out comes Poacher, range alongside of it. Goes quickly onto Poacher's back as Franco Ledger. The inside of those, Flying Courage, second to last, following Franco Ledger. Glencoe VC has followed the Ledger everywhere, and the last one with just on the lap to run is Scary McCleary at the winning post, and he's back right off the gas with Cracker Black. Don't Have Time in the trail. Poacher ranging up on the leader's rim. Right behind Poacher is Franco Ledger. The inside, Life's Decision. Following that through is Flying Courage. On its outside is Glencoe VC, and still last is Scary McCleary. They've got 800 left to run, and the leader Cracker Black about to sharpen up the tempo. Closest to it, Poacher the outside. Don't Have Time trails 1-1, Franco Ledger. Life's Decision the inside. Glencoe VC next. Right on the back of Franco Ledger. On its back, Scary McCleary at the 600. And just on the inside of those to Flying Courage. Off the back they run Cracker Black. Tramping in front's a length to the good of Poacher. Don't Have Time awaits the Ascot Hotel passing lane. Franco Ledger's about to hop out of the 1-1. Comes up 3 wide. Life's Decision in Glencoe VC. Just a little rough on the bend. He's out of play. Cracker Black turns first. Don't Have Time the passing lane. Franco Ledger starting to boom home. Down centre track comes the Ledger. Game over here. Franco Ledger scores beautiful. Home in second spot is Don't Have Time. Cracker Black maybe third. On the outside of it was Poacher, Life's Decision. Then came Flying Courage, Scary McCleary, and Glencoe VC. He just did it all wrong at the top of the straight, went scratchy and galloped. Franco Ledger, perfect here.
2 of the many members of the Whatever Syndicate. What a fantastic result, Brendan.
Yeah, it's super. It's a hell of a way to finish the season off, and it's been a pretty special season really. So it's good.
Yeah, for sure. And to come home like in a 55-7 last half, 26-2 quarter, he made the rest of them look like they were standing still.
Yeah, I don't think Hamish will be too surprised, to be honest. Yeah, he knows what he can do. And yeah.
Now, of course, Mike, you're involved in the syndicate too. You obviously have quite a bit of fun, you guys. Have you travelled with him on his ventures to Christchurch?
Yeah, we've been up there the whole time. Yeah, and it's always fun. It's more than just the race, and it's the whole syndicate, and it's a whole day out. It's a full day out. It's absolutely brilliant.
And were you guys all friends beforehand, or have you just sort of been put in touch through Hamish Hunter?
The whatever syndicate was formed about 10 years ago, whatever. Brendan and I actually brought in 20 years. Okay, yeah. Brendan and I brought in just before Ledge actually come along, and yeah, so we've both been actually spoiled.
Right,
they've gone through the slow ones. We've come in when the fast ones arrived. So
now, of course,
maybe we were the lucky ones.
Yeah, well, you've come on at the right time. Now, Brendan, of course, we know you too, as you're quite a major sponsor of harness racing in the south through your business, BMAC Sheet Metal.
Yeah, we've got connections that go back a fair while, so we're lucky enough that we were able to sponsor a few races through our business and that, and give back. And I think that's quite crucial that people do give back, and I'd like to pass on credit to the sponsors that are out there, because without them the game just falls over, hands down. So
for sure, and you were born and bred into this industry, so it's great to see you following on through it and to get a good horse.
Oh yeah, I probably didn't have much choice really. It was in the blood, and very spoiled to be brought into the syndicate and fall into a horse like this. I never actually joined it until he won his first race here, and I thought, he's all right, I'll come in with these boys.
I thought you actually joined before that.
I was waiting to see what he was like.
Now, you've been on the trips to Christchurch. I hear you say in your speech in the birdcage he's competed in 9 cups this season, won 4 of them. He's a good horse, isn't he?
Yeah, all those, if you just look at that on itself, it kind of stacks up pretty highly, really. And you look at all season, he's raced against some bloody good horses, your Hoka Texas, your Hans Christian, early in the season, Boggy Knight, managed to beat him.
Now, he's only 4 too, so, there's plenty of racing left.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm quite sure. I'm not. He will strengthen up. I'm quite sure of it. More. He's not a one-trick pony. I watch the box seat sometimes, and they say he's just a sit sprint. But I think with a bit of age on him, he'll toughen it out too. There's more strength to his bow.
Now, of course, you're well up the list for the harness jewels in your category. Is a trip to Cambridge on the card?
No, he's paddock bound now. He'll get turned out at my place. Chuck him in the B paddock. I'll work my tricks with him again, and he'll come back bigger and better and stronger next year, really.
Well, that's interesting. So what's the B paddock? What horses go in the A paddock?
my horses.
Well, that doesn't sound quite right, really. I think he should be.
He'll get in the A paddock, no doubt.
I might have to change the names of the paddocks, I think.
Now, look, just while we've got you here too, is there any other horses the syndicate owns? Any young ones coming along?
Yeah, we had a 2-year-old this year in the kitty. We had a couple of races and raced in the kindergarten. He just needs a bit of time. So, he's a nice wee fella, and so we got him. He's in the paddock at home. He's actually made the 8 paddock, so things could be looking up there. And we bought again this year as well at sales. So, the freight train continues on. Yeah.
Oh, look, a fantastic result. Go and enjoy yourselves. You're a great crew, and have a good night.
Thank you very much, Julie.
Thanks, Julie.
Good on you.
Congratulations on winning the Southern Country Cups final with Franco Ledger. Does it rate up there with your many achievements as a trainer-driver, Hamish?
Well, it's certainly important. Great thrill, and great thrill to the owners and all concerned, really. It was, great way to end the season for the horse.
Now, of course, you've won the race before, a couple of years ago with Russlands.
Yes, old Russlands, he was a bit of an outsider on his day, but he done a good job too.
Now, just talk us through the race, Hamish. He had a wee bobble at the start off the 30-metre mark, but he settled pretty quick.
Yes, he's a standing start manager. He can be either brilliant or just okay. And he backed away at his previous start, so that we're just a wee bit hesitant on what would happen. But no, it was good. Good beginning, and got a good trip after that. A very good trip, and felt great. Felt really good, strong at the 600, and at the quarter we were low flying really. That the speed was really on, and no, it really suited him, and he come on good.
So you obviously felt very confident, especially as the race went on.
Well, things had gone our way pretty well, so we're reasonably confident that we're going to get some of it, hopefully. And as the race developed, it got a little bit better for us. We got to 1-1, and we got a great trip, and he utilised that. Yes.
And of course, you're saying you were low flying, like a 55.7 last half, 26.2 quarter. That's very impressive.
He's certainly moving. I wouldn't want to be 3 or 4 wide.
Now, he looks to be the complete all-round racehorse. He goes in front, he can come from behind, he can do a bit. Is there anything he can't do, Hamish?
Well, there's bound to be something like that, yes. No, he's got a pretty good package. He ticks most boxes, and he's a great wee horse to drive and get on with.
Now, of course, he's owned by yourself and the Whatever Syndicate. How did that association come about with the syndicate?
Oh, a good number of years ago, I knew Ken McConnell, and he was the inaugural part of the Whatever Syndicate, and it all started from there. And we've had our ups and downs, and we've had our odds and sods. 1 or 2 good horses through it, but this fella by far the best.
Now, they're a great bunch of people, and they thoroughly enjoy the whole race day experience. You obviously get quite a thrill out of seeing them having such a good time.
Well, I get a great thrill of anybody getting a great time out of racing. They show, everybody shows their excitement in different ways, and they certainly are out there. Other people are a wee bit quieter, but they really enjoy themselves.
Now, of course, you purchased Franco Ledger from the yearling sales. What attracted you to him?
I was breeding mainly. He wasn't a very big horse very big yearling at all. He was quite a slight little built fellow, and he's not a big horse now, but his breeding was very, very nice, and I liked the Falcons, and since then have been exceptionally good to me too. But those 2 things, he didn't have many faults as far as everything else went, but he wasn't that big.
Can I ask you, Hamish, what you had to pay for him?
He was a $35,000 purchase.
Now, he's earned that back, really, hasn't he? I think he's got $137,000 in stakes in the bank now.
Yes, he's doing very well, yes. Things have been ticking along rather nicely.
Now, he qualified as a 2-year-old in November 2009, and he raced a bit without sort of showing too much.
Yes, he was a wee bit unfortunate. 2-year-old racing's over short distances, and he could never run the first bit very, very well. He was a little bit rough in his gait over the first, and so he was always back in his racing. And but a lot of them he come home well and went very well. He just at the end of his 2-year-old racing, he just started to get a little bit better. But we decided to put him out reasonably early, and that worked for us very well.
And then, of course, he won his first race almost a year after he qualified, but he went on to win 8 of his first 10 starts. Did that surprise you?
Oh, it probably did a little bit. He just kept on improving. He come back, and he just lifted with every race, and the more we done with him, the better he got. And I think that's characterised the whole racing career so far, is that he just improves a little bit, and as we go along, we don't little steps, and we just keep going.
Now, of course, he's an entire, but so he obviously, you've never deemed it necessary to have him gelded.
No, he's been pretty good, really. He can get a bit excited and kick walls and so forth occasionally, and that's always been a part of his makeup, but he can chill out too, so it's all good.
So just see him here today, like he's slotted in amongst the other horses. He's obviously not a problem at all, even travelling in the float and whatnot.
No. The occasional kick to the wall is about as bad as he gets, and other than that, he's been very, very good. Yeah, he likes his mates. He's one that likes company, and if he's got somebody in the stable he matches up with, he thinks that's pretty good.
Now, what's his training regime, Hamish? Does he take much work?
If he's getting plenty of racing, there's not much to him as far as training's concerned. No, he's reasonably pretty simple overall.
Now we'll just get back to his breeding. Of course, you said Falcon Sealster. Out of the 3-win Live or Die mare, Let's Scoot Franco, he's got a great record. Like that mare hasn't really, to be honest, left much else, but he's the standout.
Yeah, well, he has been so far. We just brought one at the yearling sales. Hopefully it steps up. Yes, he is the standout of it so far.
So the one you've bought at the sales, what's that by?
It's by McArdle, so it's a 3/4 brother.
Yes, of course, still got that Falcon Sealster blood. Now look, he's raced 31 times, 12 wins and 6 placings. What are some of the highlights for you of his career to date?
Well, I think the cup scene this year has been a great thrill because we won cups at Central Otago, and that's where a lot of the syndicate members come from. And then we had Waka White, which was Paul O'Neill was a big part of the syndicate, and he's the president of Waka White, and a few of the others are on the committee. So that was pretty good. And then Wyndham, well, that's my old home track, so it was great to be a part of that.
Now Hamish too, a recent placing 3rd in the Group 2 Superstars Championship, half a length behind Gold Ace and Terror to Love. That must have been a huge effort.
Well, it was an interesting series there. I went and raced at Addington, and it was hopefully going to get a guide on just how far we've come and how far we've got to go as far as competing against the top horses in the country. So that was the first measuring sticks, and yeah, we're pretty delighted about that.
Yeah, now obviously he's away to the Spelling Paddock. You're just letting him down gently this week. Is a New Zealand Cup start on the agenda?
Oh yes, we're going to try. We're heading in that direction, and whether it eventuates or not, we're certainly going to aim for it.
Now he's currently 2nd in his category for the Harness Jewels, but you weren't tempted to make the trek to Cambridge?
No, it was either one or the other, I think, and we wanted to rest him first and then target the New Zealand Cup.
I'm sure, Hamish, you've had numerous offers for him. Not tempted?
No. The syndicates, they're pretty keen to carry on, and you don't very often get a horse like this. If you're lucky to get one, so no, we're just going to carry on.
And of course he's only 4, so really, they've got 2 or 3 good seasons of racing, if not more, haven't they?
Well, hopefully so, yes. If things hold together well and we can compete at that level, hopefully we're in for an enjoyable time.
Now, Hamish, perhaps one of the disappointments would have had to be on the eve of the Sire Stakes final when he was 3, suffered an injury. That must have been disappointing for you when you were up there and all ready to go.
Oh yes, horse racing's been horse racing, and yes, no, it wasn't a great sight when I first looked at it, but anyway, we were lucky enough to come out of that injury without any after effects. So all's good long term. Short term, no, it wasn't very nice.
No. Now look, you've trained and driven many good horses in your career, many. How does he rate alongside the likes of Malaz and a lot of the other good ones, Nursemaid, and oh gosh, I could spend hours naming them all, but how does he rate alongside them in your eyes?
Oh, well, Malaz, he was an all-time favourite. He was an outstanding stayer, but really didn't have too much high speed in the sense. But this fella, he's got a lot of high speed, and he's won staying races, although I don't think he's not yet a stayer like Malaz was. But he's right up there. Yeah.
So to the Spelling Paddock, how much of a break will he get?
I'm hopeful about 6 weeks. Yes.
And then you'll be aiming to be racing perhaps around September, October, prepare for the Cup meeting?
Correct, yes.
Good.
We'll just go through the pre-Cup races and try and map out something that suits them. Yes.
We at Regent Car Court offer you the very best in used vehicles. We also offer our support to a community that has supported us over the last 40 years.
Selling cars is our strength, but we also think it's important to support the community. From loaning out vehicles to donating cash to clubs, organisations and individuals, we love helping out where we can. One of the great things about being a Southland business is the opportunity to get involved and get things happening in the community.
We love supporting our community. Regent Car Court, much more about you than about us.
Meeting new people along the way also helps strengthen the business, and seeing people get something out of what we've contributed over the last 40 years makes us proud. And remember, at the end of the day, it comes down to one thing: loyalty.
Region Carcourt, speaking your language, supporting your community.
Hamish, you've trained 342 winners since 1985 when they started keeping records. Have you got any idea how many there'd be before that?
No, I'm sorry, I don't. It would be interesting to look back on, but no, I must one day look into the archives and see what's there. But yes, no, I'm sorry.
So when did you first get your trainer's licence? Have you got any idea roughly what year that would be?
No.
But you'd been training for, quite a few years before 85, hadn't you?
Oh, yes. No, we'd been going about a good 10 or 12 years before that.
Now, interestingly enough, you're sitting on 299 driving wins at the moment, again, since 1985. So officially, you are soon to rack up your 300th win.
Well, I didn't know that, but that's interesting, yes.
Is there anything over the years, Hamish, you would have done differently?
Oh, I think you always look back in life, and there is probably things that you would, without question. It's live and learn, of course, and racing's always like that. You're always finding something different as you go along, and you think, oh, I could have done that possibly a wee bit better, possibly. But oh no, it's all been good.
Now, of course, harness racing was in your blood. You're from a very prominent Southland horse family. Was there ever any option of perhaps doing something else? Like, did you have any aspirations to perhaps do anything else, or you always wanted to get involved with the horses?
No, I was addicted to the horses, and probably still am in a way. And no, I think I'd lived it over again. I'd do the same but differently.
Now, of course, you're currently sitting on 17 training and driving wins for this season. I think your personal best is a 23. You've still got a big race team around you. You might get close to that.
Yes. I've actually trained about 27 winners once before, so I certainly won't get anywhere near that, but hopefully there's another couple there if we're lucky enough.
Yes, now, of course, you have taken out the Southland Trainers Premiership on more than one occasion in the past.
Oh yes, I've been lucky enough I've had my moments and had my good years.
Now, what would be the highlight of your career to date as a trainer and as a driver? That's a big question spanning a lot of years, but I'll put you on the spot.
I think that, like a season like this season when we won so many country cups, they were great. And also Just Gorgeous winning the 2-year-old fillies event, Group 3 at Addington. They were, that's great. I really enjoyed that. Alas, he was a great old horse for me, and he ran fourth in the New Zealand Cup. That was a great day. Certainly, it was a great performance on his part. He was parked all the way, so it was an outstanding run. They were great moments. He won a sapling stake. He ran second in the original Cyrus Stakes final, so they were all great moments, yeah.
Now, just tell us about your property here at Rollbush. You've been here for many years. What size is it?
It's about 25 acres in the old terms, and it's a 760 metre track, and we have accommodation for 27 horses under roof, and it works well.
And of course now your brother Peter's training next door and uses your track. That's obviously a good arrangement.
Yes, we're utilising what we've got, and it works very well.
Now, Hamish, you've had a long recovery from a bad race accident you had probably just over a year ago. Was it with your ankle injury? How's that coming along?
Oh no, everything's good, yes. No, I've been lucky enough to recover well, was well looked after, and my staff allowed me to have tons of time off to recover properly, so we're tripping along really well.
And of course, how did you find that? You know, your staff did a fantastic job in your absence, I must say, but how did you find that, having to sit back and not necessarily be hands-on?
Oh, it's always awkward, but I'm starting to get used to it a little bit. I've had a couple of mishaps over the later years, and hopefully that's all over now. But I know, very, very lucky, excellent staff, yeah, great family.
Now let's touch on your current staff here. Who's working here at the moment, Hamish?
We've got Tracy Sherborne and Ants Gorman are the main two, and I've got a couple of young school boys that come along on weekends and holidays, etc. And Stuart Thompson and Shane Phillips.
So how many horses would you be working?
At the moment we're about the 22 mark. We're generally around the 27, 25 during the full season. Yeah.
So you're just sort of in wind down mode now, heading into winter?
Oh, not really. No. The numbers will still hold right through, probably.
And I dare say you've got yearlings and that to come in for another prep over the winter?
Oh yes, we're doing yearlings at the moment, and they'll go out and come back, and it's all got to keep the wheels are turning.
Now, Hamish, what would be the most useful piece of gear over all your years of training? That something you keep going back to, something you get a lot of results with?
Boring pole.
Right. Now, what do you feed? What's your sort of basic feed regime?
Basically oats, sweet feed, lucerne, hay.
Now, you're involved in the ownership of a number of horses yourself. Are you breeding off any mares?
Yes, I breed from about 3 mares. Been doing it on a yearly basis, but yes, 3 mares.
Now, I just want to touch on your current race team. Now, of course, you mentioned Just Gorgeous, Washington VC 2-year-old filly. She's spelling at the moment?
Yes. He bruised a foot pre the Caduceus final down here. It wasn't great timing, but anyway, racing being racing, that's what happened there. So she had a break, and we contemplated the duels, but that by the time we had a stand down period of about 3 weeks, it was just out of the way.
Yes, and of course she was well up the list for her category, and I noticed Devil May Care and someone else. I know you've got Franco Ledger was well up the list, but there's another one too that was well up the list. You weren't tempted to take a truckload to Cambridge?
No.
Do you think it might have been different, Hamish, if it was an Ashburton this year?
Oh yes, you'd certainly have to look at your options if you're Ashburton. It's a whole new ball game, I think. But, Cambridge, it's a wee way away, and if you draw, it's a smaller track. You draw bad up there, they say it isn't too good. So.
Yes, a long way to go, to be left hung out to dry, isn't it?
Correct, yes.
Now look, we've seen 2 nice horses in your stable work here today, Devil May Care and Canardly Lover. They're still racing and racing well.
Yes, they had a good finals run in the Supremacy. They were both right up there for the minor places, outclassed by the first 2, but good runs, very good runs. They're lovely 3-year-olds. They go about their work very, 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 very well, and I know looks good for the future there.
Of course, Devil May Care, out of your former stable star nursemaid, has he got any of her attributes?
Yes, looks, the way he runs, and some of his habits. Yes, no, you're certainly cloned to her, right?
Now, of course, Christian Ruler, Christian Cullen, another entire in the stable, and owned by some of the same owners as Franco Ledger. Where's he, Hamish?
Well, he's in the high country at the moment. He's away up at Hyde, having a good break grazing.
And when will he be back in?
Probably midwinter we'll start working on him again.
Now, it's been a full-on season for you. I'm sure every season is. It's probably no different to the others. Any chance of a holiday over the winter months?
We'll look into that.
You have to take advantage of these staff and get away. You got any time, Hamish, for any interests outside of harness racing?
I love sport. I love following sport. Rugby being, of course, number one, but most sport I love following, and of course I follow the interests of the family.
And of course they are quite a tie, the horses, but you obviously wouldn't have it any other way.
I'm not too sure about that, but yes, no, it's a 24/7 sort of job, horses, but very enjoyable.
Oh, of course, very enjoyable when you're getting the results. Well done.
Thank you very much.
Since filming this item, Hamish won another 2 races at Gore last Saturday with Finbar Abbey and Gotcha, giving him 19 wins for the season to date. He also recorded placings with Canardly Lover and Devil May Care.